Welcome to the Canoga Park Youth Art Center's new series, Art Explorer, where each class we will be learning how to draw animals from all over the world. I'm going to show you how we can take basic shapes and learn how to draw any animal you want by using basic shapes like triangles, squares, circles, things like that. Today our journey takes us to Africa, the continent of Africa. And we're going to learn how to draw 3 different animals: an elephant, a giraffe, and a zebra. A couple different ways to draw a zebra. I'm also going to show you how you can draw these beautiful trees that Africa is famous for. So we're going to Africa. It's one thing to know how to draw animals, but you have to put them in a landscape as well. So here is my landscape. I'd like you guys to take a moment to take a look at some of the details. The very first and most important line you put in your landscape is the horizon line. That's the line that divides the sky from the land. You can see my horizon line. It runs right across here. It's those tiny little skinny mountains. And that's where the sky meets the land. Now you have a bunch of choices where to put this, but know that the higher you put your horizon line, the more space you're showing. If I put my horizon line down here, I would have hardly no room to put all of the things that I want to put into my picture. Now I have my animals here, but I wanted to spice it up a little bit. I put some simple plants in. I put my tree in. So this is what we're going to go for today, but you can make it yours in a number of ways. Shall we learn how to draw a zebra? All right, Mr. Zebra. Here we go, Mr. Zebra. To begin our zebra, which looks a lot like a horse, but our zebra has stripes, we start with a peanut. It's like a laying down peanut. That is the body of our zebra. After we're done with the body of our zebra, we're going to put in a triangle like this because our zebra is eating some grass. So he's bent his neck down. So now we're going to go to the third one, and our zebra now has a triangular shaped nose and a triangular shaped ear. Starting to look more like a zebra, huh? We're going to go to our fourth picture, and here we are adding our legs. I want you to know that a zebra has kind of skinny legs compared with, say, an elephant, and they got a little bump on their knee like that. Something else that's important to know about all 4-legged animals, and I mean all of them, have backward knees. This is the knee. Our knee bends this way, but an animal's knee bends the other way. And this is a really huge muscle right here. So those are the 2 legs that you have to put on your zebra. And then when we finish up, we just add our tail. We put in 2 more legs. Put a little mane, and a zebra's mane is short. It's not long like a horse's mane. And there we go. Give him an eye, give him a little bit of a jaw here, and presto, zebra. Our next animal is the giraffe. So when we start our giraffe, we are starting with a very basic shape. It's kind of like a square. I'm not sure what the actual technical name for that shape is, but you can see it's like a square that's had a little bit taken off, or a triangle that has just been snipped off there. That's the body of our giraffe. Now I come to this one, and I'm adding this really tall triangle. I bet you know what that's for. Yeah, that's our giraffe's neck. As I come over to this one, now we're building, right? We build up. That is our giraffe's head. Now we come over to this one. Giraffe's legs are very, very skinny and tall. In fact, a giraffe's leg, if you measure it, is about as tall as his neck is. So when you draw your giraffe, don't put short little legs on him. Take a look at your neck and make your legs as long as your necks are. Now remember, we've got our bony little kneecaps here, and again, backward knee swings out this way, and then we're done. And our last little drawing here, I've smoothed out all the lines. I gave him the 2 more legs that he needed, kind of smoothed out his nose, gave him a muzzle, an eye, happy smile, ears, and those 2 little antlers that giraffes have. Not bad, huh? This is pretty easy. And the elephant, frankly, I think the elephant is the easiest of all. Rectangle. I know you know how to draw a rectangle. on my rectangle, I'm going to add my elephant legs. Now look, they're fatter than that zebra legs, aren't they? And they're way fatter than the giraffe's legs. And because they're so heavy, their bottoms, they kind of push out a little bit. Those are like the little toes of our elephant. Now for our elephant head, I just put a square. I kind of overlapped it. Do you see this space that shows where I overlapped? So that's going to turn into our elephant's head. So you can see how that works. So now I've got my elephant body. I brought the lines up a little bit for my elephant's legs. Here's the square we did. I'm rounding that edge off because an elephant doesn't have a square head. And I add my trunk. We're getting there. It's looking close. And in our final picture of our elephant, I added the last two legs to it. I put in this big ear, and then I gave him one of the little tusks. Give him an eyeball, and we are done. Oh, and our tail, and we're done. So you can see how by drawing basic shapes, we can easily draw any animal that we want. All right, are you ready to come stand by my side here and watch what we'll be doing? Now, do you remember? I said the most important line is the horizon line. So I'm going to draw I'm going to make low mountains. They're not really tall because they're really far away too. So low mountains, okay? And then I want to show where the mountains start. So I'm going to draw me a flat line that goes all the way across like that. Now you guys can see, let me make sure I'm knowing what I'm doing here. That's a horizon line, sky, land. Let's start with our first, well, let's start with our trees first. I have to show you guys how to draw our trees. These trees have very thick bases, and then they come out like a Y. Doesn't that look like a Y? And now I'm just going to make these little branches that come up and go the whole way, little V's, V's, V's. So it kind of looks like a hand with too many fingers. And now I'm just going to put all of the top that goes around it. Looks just like those types of trees. Okay, now I'm going to do an elephant. And remember what I said about the elephant. We start with a rectangle. Here's my rectangle. Then we added our legs. They were short and thick, and they had a little thing that comes around the bottom, like so, because an elephant is so heavy. Now I'm going to put my head in. Remember, we started with a square that overlapped. All right, I'm going to make my legs go into my body. Looking pretty elephant-y. Now I'm going to curve my elephant's head. I'm going to put my trunk into my elephant, coming off my elephant's head. And then all I need is my big old ear. Presto. Now all we got to do is smooth off some of these lines, add a tail, add an eye, and add our tusk. Presto, elephant. Now for our giraffe. Now remember how we started with our giraffe? With this kind of odd shaped, not quite a triangle, but not quite a square. There we go. Now we're going to add a tall triangle onto that. That's our elephant's neck. And remember, we said we were going to put another one. Little guy. There we go. There's his head. Now look what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure how big the neck was, and I can see that my legs need to go all the way down to the bottom of the page. Normally I would recommend not doing this, but I didn't measure my head well enough. Give him a little hoof like that. Remember, backward knees. So our knee comes out like this, and then it goes straight down. Here's our little legs. Okay, looking pretty elephantly so far, or I'm sorry, giraffe-y. So now let's give him our second leg. There we go. Give him his little tail, and let's give him a little leg here. Okay, nice and skinny. We just got to give him a couple of ears, his little antenna, or not antenna, antlers, and give him an eye, smooth out the lines, and you're good to go. Our last creature of the African plains is a zebra. We're going to start off with a peanut. Do you guys see how I'm not?
I lost it somewhere.
I saw that.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. know why that just happens. Okay, go ahead.
So to begin our zebra, we're starting with a peanut. Remember our peanut? Here's our peanut. Now we're going to draw, I'm going to come off this side, the triangle. Remember? That was his neck leaning down, and then we have to put his nose in here and his ear. So now our zebra is leaning down eating some grass. We're going to give our zebra some legs. Remember, they're skinnier than our elephant friends, and they're not as long as our giraffe friend. There's our front leg, backward knee for our back leg. It's a little overlapping our giraffe, but that's okay. Little tail. And the mane is just like a little brush cut, haircut. I'm just going to give him one more little leg here. So our guy's got 4. Give him one more leg here. And presto, we have our animals. And for the grasses, you know, I'm just doing grasses and always have some rocks, you know. There's rocks everywhere. And you can put in more trees if you like. But this is how we can draw our own African scene. Now, I did an upgrade of this, as I often do. And I just did a regular watercolor this time. I didn't outline anything. I wanted it to feel airy. So I just did a drawing, and I went ahead and I painted my drawing. But I want you to look, this color is a combination of green and yellow and just a touch of orange, because I wanted it to look like the ground. So I made an orange sky. Remember, skies don't have to be blue. They can be any color you want. And you can see how I was able to get the stripes on my zebra and the spots on my giraffe. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to draw African animals today. You know, please feel free to send us pictures of the art that you make that were inspired by these lessons we're doing. We would love to see what you're making, and make sure you're having fun. That counts a lot. Thanks for joining us, the Canoga Park Youth Art Center's series on Art Explorer. We'll see you again soon.